Hey, welcome to the Junk Project. I'm your host, Michelle Hill. And today we have the awesome opportunity to be joined with our guest, Wiley Mccarther, the Mind Ninja. He is just amazing in everything mind related and then some. So, Wiley, we'd love to hear all about you.
Okay. Cool. So yeah, the Mind Ninja. A lot of people ask me, where did you come up with that? And the funny thing is it didn't drop to me until I was actually uh, decided to go all in on myself and got around some people that inspired me. Right. I joined this group called Apex that have become my family of choice, and it's interesting that once you level up the people that are around you, your belief structures and things like that start leveling up as well, because it's like, wait a minute, they are doing this, how are they? They're normal, or at least they seem normal, and yet they're accomplishing all these amazing things. What's different about them that I didn't know before that I can replicate? Right?
Yep.
Because everything, um, I studied neuro-linguistics programming, which is a big mouthful of words, which basically means it's the study of excellence and how to replicate it. Um, and it's amazing that once you start seeing excellence in other people, you're like, okay, so that's how you do it. We learn by example. A lot of times we've learned by how people failed instead of what people do right. And it's kind of funny when you change your mode of operandi to look at the things that are going right and how to get more of it. It changes the flow of energy. It changes a lot of the difficulties that used to be hard, and you can actually create an easy button for yourself, because it's like, wait a minute, if I do this, I get this result. I'm going to keep doing that one instead of manifesting all of the negative and the less than belief structures. So it's been kind of a kick finding these models of excellence and going, okay, I can do that. That's easy.
Yeah. Well, and it's funny, we've brought up Apex several times on this show already. And it's exactly like that. And I've tried to share with people that, oh, no try, there's no try. I said that in my first episode too. I was like, no, I can't say try. Wiley says no try.
Yeah.
um I am have shared with people that, you can learn like the good things from people and the bad things from people, but it is really amazing to learn, the good things, because then it shows you what direction you can go in. Yeah, it's great to learn what you don't want to do, right, from learning people's mistakes, but it's also really nice to learn the fact what they did to become successful and how they got there, so you can learn that and go down that road and not make everybody else's mistakes, that they've already made and shared and said this didn't work. Try, work on something else. Don't try.
Exactly. Well, let's explain a little bit why try is so detrimental to someone.
Okay.
First off, it's in Star Wars, so we know it has to be at least somewhat plausible. When Master Yoda says, "Do or do not, there is no try," you've got to take the effort. But studying hypnotherapy, I learned that try is fantastic for hypnotherapists, because we get people to feel like they're doing a lot of effort, but they're never going to get the result. When you try to do something, you're actually telling your unconscious mind, I want to feel like I'm doing a lot, but never get the end result. For example, if I put a pen on the desk in front of you and I said, try and pick it up, if you pick it up, you didn't try. You did it.
Right.
Try is hitting your fingers all around the pen in an attempt to pick up the pen, but not succeeding. It's actually casting a spell. That's why we call it spelling. Is the words that we use actually create manifestations in our life. So when someone says, I'm going to try this, okay, what does that mean? Well, put forth a lot of effort. Okay, cool. It's the same thing as like the word more. I want more money. Well, your unconscious mind goes for the easiest route. So you'll be walking down the street, find a penny, you pick it up, That's more money. Congratulations, you're done. And unconscious mind will shut off and say, okay, I got you more. Versus if you'd said, I want $1,000,000. Okay, they get the difference in specificity creates the movement at the unconscious level to manifest those opportunities.
I think that's amazing. I do really believe that, what you tell yourself really does matter. I have really changed the way I'm working on how I even talk to myself, like in the mirror, and it's really funny because this sounds crazy, but I had like made a bet with God, not like this was going to happen, right? This is what makes it so entertaining.
Mhm.
But I'm like, okay, God, if I could be a supermodel, but obviously if I'm a supermodel, I'm somebody completely different. I'm not me. So maybe they don't know Christ, or maybe they're not into God, whatever, right? So I could be the supermodel, or I could be me and know me the way I am. And again, not like he was going to change anything. But ironically, I picked me. I'm like, so it was such a wake up call for me that I was like, wow, even though obviously I knew there was no opportunity to change, but to realize in the end, no matter what, I'd pick me anyway. Does this make sense at all?
Okay. Well,
It's
picking
weird.
you, well, a lot of people wouldn't pick themselves because they think less in themselves than anybody else does. See, our inner critic is probably the one of the most powerful forces because it knows how to hit hardest. That negative voice knows exactly what to use to bring us down
Right.
because it's had a lifetime of learning and knowing this is how I activate this and this is how I get to you, right?
Yeah.
Not realizing, we've been trained and conditioned by the people around us from 0 to 10 is when we get all of our belief structures, and family and people who are in positions of authority, and we take their information without judgment because we don't know what to judge it against. And parents do the best they can with the resources they have, but you and I both know there's no perfect parent out there.
Right. Right.
So it's like, well, when did I decide that? When I was 5? Okay. Am I the same person as I was when I was 5? No. Okay. Can I make a better choice? Oh, yeah. And giving ourselves permission to go, you know what? I'm more resourceful than I was back then.
Right.
This doesn't need to hold me back anymore.
Yep.
I don't have to believe that belief anymore.
Yep. And I love that because I've had people bring up stuff from 10 years ago, and I'm like, dude, you can't judge me on that. I'm not that person anymore. And 10 years ago, my thought process was different. Everything was different. And so I don't like being judged on something from 10 years ago. That's the past. The past is the past. Let it go. Judge me on today if you're going to judge me. You know, that's kind of how I look at it and how kind of I handle people. But yeah, that's just a pet peeve of mine because I can't fix what I did 10 years ago. I can only fix today and change tomorrow. And that's it.
Mm-hmm. Well, the fun thing with that is I've learned that the people that are closest to you that have known you for the longest are the ones that don't let you go. But I've also learned that I don't preach to those people in any way. I mean, we look at Christ, he preached in his own land and he got crucified.
That's true. Yeah.
So I go by the model, you can't preach in your own land, you'll get crucified. It's like I don't work with the people that are closest to me because I am different than that. And just like with parents, right? You're always my daughter, she'll always be my little girl. 20 years old.
Yeah.
My little girl. It's my right. And that's the thing is we don't want to let some of those memories and that go. We want them to be who they were. And so we put them into that mold, not maliciously or any of that. A lot of the time it's like, you were this. Now some people want to hold on to old grudges and that kind of stuff. It's like, that's okay. If I'm the same as I was 10 years ago, something's wrong.
Right.
Life is about growth and about movement. And you can stay where you're at. That's fine. Me, I'm going here. 1% better every day,
Yeah.
compounded over just 1 year. You're over 400% better.
But it's amazing. I think I've been with Apex a couple of years, but I think I've only, as far as joined, been maybe a year. And my husband and my mom, there's 1 year I think I grossed like 10 grand, and they're like, you need to get another job and just quit doing what you're doing. I'm like, no, I'm not going to quit. Now, I did go get a part-time job because I had to.
Right.
But recently, this last year was my best year, I mean, in my entire life, and financially. And they both said, man, you've proved this wrong. And man, that's just the greatest feeling when you stay consistent with your beliefs, and no matter what, you just do what you know is going to succeed. As I did a lot of self-sabotaging I had my business for 8 years. I self-sabotaged for 7, literally. So as soon as I got out of that self-sabotage mode, my business blew up. And I've been truly grateful for everything that God has just, thrown at me, and I've taken and built something with it. And I told my husband, I said, I can't wait till you get to go into your boss and tell him you retire because your wife has got you hooked up and you don't need to work anymore. So that's my final goal.
Sugar mama, let's go.
Yeah.
Here's the fun thing is people, once you realize that you are your own bottleneck, your greatness or your weakness is you.
Mm-hmm.
At the end of the day. And the biggest thing, there are 2 things that really change who a person is. One is the people you hang around with. And if you really want to excel, you really want to light it up, you get a coach.
Yeah.
I look at Michael Jordan. He had at least 2 coaches, if not more. And he was arguably the best basketball player ever. Why would he need a coach? And the thing about it is you can't fix what you don't understand, what you don't see. You could have all the tools in the world to fix everything, but if it's outside of awareness, right? The self-sabotage and all that, it's outside of awareness. Until you bring it to where you can go, oh, that's what I'm doing. Oh, I can fix that now. And then all of a sudden,
that was easy.
Because I can fix what I know,
Mm-hmm.
but if it's outside of my awareness, I can't touch it.
Yeah.
It's at the unconscious level. I can't make that change. I need it to be where I know what it is that I can then take action on, right? Self-sabotaging, you didn't know what you were doing to self-sabotage until you started to pay attention. You're like, oh.
Yeah.
And then when that light bulb goes off, it's like,
Yeah.
oh, I'll fix it this way.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I think that's a great point to bring up, that you do need a coach. And you are a coach as well, are you not?
Oh yeah.
You do coaching. And towards the end, we'll have you, share your contact information as well, so our guests can reach out to you. But you're truly amazing. And what I really love about you is it's just the straightforwardness, of the conversations. And, I'm one of those people, I don't understand stories when people just run around the point. I like the point, and then if you have to explain it more, then you can do it. And that to me is what you are. You explain it very well for me and for me to understand. So I really love that. And I have some other questions I'd like to ask, just kind of some fun questions if you're up for it. Ready?
Ready.
All right. If you could have a billboard with anything on it, what would it say?
Billboard with anything on it. Wow. Okay. If I could have a billboard with anything on it, it would say, "Be your most authentic self," because that's where your truth lies.
Right.
Be your
That one down.
old self who doesn't care what anybody else thinks, and just have a picture of a kid just enjoying life. Because let's be honest, when you're 6 and you're wearing the Superman underwear on the outside of your pants,
Yep.
you don't care what anybody else thinks. The cape that's flowing in the wind, it's like that's your reality, and you can shine that light. And if everybody were shining their most authentic life and living their most authentic self, how
Yeah.
much brighter this world would be.
Yeah, it would definitely be amazing if we just didn't worry about what everybody thought, and like you said, just be ourselves. So what would be some words of advice?
Words of advice, focus on what you want. See, a lot of us focus on what we don't want. I know, like about 80% of the people I talk to, I ask them what they want. It's fuzzy. They don't understand. They don't know what they want with life, but they can give me a laundry list of what they don't want. And the problem with giving me what you don't want is it doesn't give you any energy towards what you want.
Mhm.
I like to give the example. If you're taking someone out on a date and you say, hey, where do you want to go for dinner? And they say, well, I don't want to go to McDonald's. Right? You say, all right, is Wendy's okay? Well, no, I don't want to go there either. It doesn't eliminate all the other. It's like, tell me what you want. That way I can give you direction. The unconscious mind works on do's or don'ts, but it ignores the don't. So when you tell your kid, don't run into the street,
Yeah.
what's the first thought? Run into the street.
Right.
Tell people, don't think of a blue tree. No. Don't think of a blue tree. Wait, I told you, don't think of a blue tree. We have to try it on to then reject it.
Yeah.
All of that energy is wasted instead of saying, all right, this is what I want. This is how I get there, because then I've given my unconscious permission to look for those aspects.
Yeah.
And that's one of the funnest things is when you really know what you want, life becomes that much easier. We can start manifesting that greatness.
Yeah. I've seen that, and I've been getting more. It's a tough one to forget, not use. It's a crutch word. Like in Toastmasters, they count your ands, ifs, buts, so's. Try should be one of those words they count because it's a crutch word. So
well, it is.
If I quit dropping out of Toastmasters, next time I go, I'll bring it up to them.
Well, the thing about it is yeah, it's just deciding what it is. Now, here's the fun thought is people will spend more time planning a vacation than they will their life.
Yeah.
And it's like when you plan a vacation, you know what plane you're getting on, you know your destination. I don't know anybody that goes to an airport and says, all right, we're going somewhere today, I don't know where.
Yeah.
And then just hops on a random plane. Maybe my sister sometimes, but she works for the airline, so she gets free tickets. So she does a roulette on what she can do by standby, but there's still a destination in mind.
Yeah.
Yet with life, my destination is what? And so many go, well, it's to be happy. Well, if you're not happy in the moment, nothing in the future will make you happy.
Right.
If you can't find happiness in where you are, the journey, what's the point of being here?
Yeah. So like my husband and I, when we met, we really didn't discuss on what we wanted in our future. I was definitely not an entrepreneur at that time, and things were just completely different. And I had recently lost my first husband, so I'm not going to say I just jumped in pretty quick to the second marriage, but in all aspects, I probably did. But I have no regrets on this. What I've noticed as we get older, and now that I am with my own business and things like that, our goals are quite different. And, he wants to retire and travel, and I don't really care to travel, but I feel like traveling is going to be in my future because I would like to be a speaker, and do more speaking engagements. And so I'm like, well, we can travel that way. So it's hard to figure out how we can do this together. And at this point, I'm not pushing anything because he's working and I'm working. I'm waiting to see what happens down the road and, start working on where our end goals of retirement and things like that become a little bit more togetherness as opposed to where they are right now. We're completely going down two different roads. Does this make sense?
Well, here's what makes sense is you're out of alignment right now, and until you get alignment, you're not going to run. even your best year is a crawl because you're out of alignment,
Right.
right? You hold yourself back. If all of a sudden you were both in alignment, your business would boom because then you'd be able to hire people to take the day to day so you won't have to one-on-one versus a fridge and crush it,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
Because you'd have other people and the business would grow like that. So I would challenge you to get that vision of how you can create travel in that speaker, so that you can give your unconscious mind the motivation, right? The belief
Okay.
structure to really launch. Because you don't want to retire right now. Because if you retire him, then you have to travel
Hmm.
and you drag your own feet, self-sabotage again.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because you can do so much more because you know now that you can, but right now you're like, well, I can't do that because then he'll want to travel and I don't want to travel right now. Notice the contrast, and the unconscious goes, I don't want to battle that. I don't want to fight that. So I'm going to hold back until
Right.
we know this is where we want to go. And then it's like, oh, I'm going to do speaker gigs all over the done.
Yeah.
We'll travel to each of the speaker ones, and it's a win-win.
Right. And that's how I'm looking at it. I'm looking hopefully next year sometime to be able to get some more equipment, because that's really how I have to grow my company at this point where I'm at. And it's painful right now because I need more equipment so I can hire guys to come, so I can train them to do the job.
Well, I'm going to challenge one thing right there. You said hopefully.
Okay.
When you looked at a fridge to get into the back of your trailer, do you say hopefully I can get that in there?
No, I said
Oh.
it's coming, or it's coming one way or another. So you're right.
Right. Notice the difference?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
If you put a hopeful out there, it's a wish.
Yeah.
Hope is one of the words that people like to cling to. Well, hopefully I can do this. I hope they'll do this. I hope they'll do that.
Mm-hmm.
That divides your energy
Okay.
to the successful portion or the unsuccessful portion. If you burn the boats and say, this is getting in here one way or another, it eliminates all that other energy. So 100% is focused on successful completion, which gets the result, right?
I like that. Yeah.
Yeah, you are driven. If you are driven to be successful, your unconscious will find the way to make it happen. You
Okay.
are very resourceful when you have to be, right?
Right. Right.
When I don't have to be, then I let this happen and this happen and this happen. Stuff gets in the way. But if it's happening, come hell or high water, that's a whole different energy, and the unconscious finds a way.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the whole point: is when you give yourself permission to go all in, it will happen.
Yeah. I like that. You're absolutely true on that. Absolutely right. So I have a couple more questions because I know we're getting towards the end. How do you get rid of the trash in your life when it piles up? How would you do that?
Well, there's a few easy steps. One of the things that I like to do is, and that I do really well, is I help people get rid of all their past baggage, emotional baggage, right?
Mm-hmm.
Anger, sadness, fear, hurt, and guilt. Because most places want you to go in and relive it and experience it. And it's like, that's not the reason for negative emotions, right?
Mm-hmm.
Negative emotions are a check engine light, and that is it. It's like, warning, there's something here. Yeah, we've bought into the thing, well, I have to feel this emotion. I have to really sit in it. I'm like, that's not very healthy to
Right.
sit in negative, right?
Right.
Because I look at the learning to ride a bike, right? There's lots of crashes when you're learning to ride a bike, but the minute you know how to ride a bike, guess what? You can go back to any crash and there's no emotion there.
Mm-hmm.
Why? Because you know how to ride the bike. You know how to keep yourself safe. What if you could do that with every aspect of your life with the check engine light? Instead of being the normal American, I think most countries have I don't want to feel the emotions. So what do we do when the emotion pops up? It's the check engine light comes on. We put duct tape over the top of it.
Yeah.
Instead of going, okay, what do I need to learn from this? The learning which will allow me to let it go. Because every emotion has a learning. Once we get the learning, the emotion goes away. And it's kind of fun that at the unconscious level, we know what we need to learn. We just ignore it because it's easier to just put the duct tape over it and hide it, not realizing that it's taking our energy every single day to keep that hidden from us. It's like having a sink full of dishes and you walk past it. You're like, I should do those. And we walk past it. And then we walk past it again. Oh, I should really do those. And it piles up. It's like, I want to get to those. That's a big job now. I don't want to deal with that.
Yeah.
We just walk past it again until we get in there, get the dishes done. And at the end, we're like, oh, that feels so much better. And it wasn't that big a deal once I got into it, right?
That's a great point. I had learned a long time ago along that aspect that when I had to go mow the yard, and I would let it go and go and go and go. And it took me so much longer to get the yard mowed. And somebody just brought it to my attention. Look, if you just did it when you knew you had to do it the first time, it wouldn't take up all this mental drain because you're constantly thinking about it. And it's always on the forefront, knowing you have to get this job done and you're not doing it and you're ignoring it. So now I'm having to deal with that, plus all the other issues that I come up with during the day. And I've never forgot that. It's better to just take care of it immediately as you think about it, get it done. And then you don't waste your time on it anymore thinking about it.
I like to have a little bit of fun with procrastination.
Mhm.
And I say, if you're going to procrastinate anything, why don't you procrastinate your procrastinating? Put off putting it off. It's like,
Right.
"No, I'll just get it done now."
Yeah.
Hey, what? Short circuit? Huh. Oh, okay.
Yep. I love that. That's funny. That's great.
If
I
you're
was
going to do it anyway, you might as well procrastinate the thing that you're
right. Exactly. Yeah. And then just keep procrastinating because that's okay too.
yeah, just put off putting it off and just get it done now. And then guess what? You're there. You get to go to the next thing.
Yep.
It's all in the buildup. I've noticed if I give myself a short timeline, I get stuff done. If I give myself a long time to get it done, I wait till the last 10 minutes and get it done anyway.
Isn't that crazy?
So if I'm gonna, yeah, so we can accomplish so much when we say, I have this short term deadline. I have to have it done by this day. Oh no, I'm under pressure. I got to get it done now. Oh,
Yeah. It reminds me of school, like if you don't do your homework right, then you come home the next day and now you got more homework because you didn't do your other homework. Yeah. I'm like
don't
that.
talk to me about that. I never did the homework. I just aced the tests.
Oh,
I end up with C's because I get A's on the tests and not turn in the homework. So
oh my gosh. I won't go into my schooling. It was weird.
right.
So we would love for you to I'm so sorry about that. We would love for you to leave your contact information so our guests can reach out to you and talk with you about coaching and anything else they would love to discuss with you.
Absolutely. Well, you can find me online, Facebook. It's Wiley Mccarther, and you'll see that on the tag of the face and that. I'm also on TikTok, the Mind Ninja. Same with Instagram, Mind Ninja Co. I even have a book out called 52 Mind Hacks with the Mind Ninja. And I go over a lot of these things these concepts that we've done in the book. Each week, there's a new learning. This is what I wrote the book as. It's just 52 chapters, 1 to 3 pages on each one. And it's just a lot of fun to just open up. And the chapter number 1 is, what do you want? Really? That's the biggest thing, because once you know what you want, then you can start manifesting it. Until you know what you want, the unconscious is you're missing out on a million bits of information per second that's actually modified. It's like when you buy your first car, you know what you want, but nobody has it. The minute you drive it off the lot, it's everywhere. And it's like, what the heck?
Yeah.
You activated what's called the reticular activating system, which is the awareness button. And if you know what you want, guess what? You're activating that awareness button, and it's going to manifest the opportunities to get you where you want to go. And if you really want to coach, that's the thing is I'm really good at asking the questions to get that awareness so that you can go, oh, that's what's holding me back. Oh, that's what I want. Okay. Then we do this.
That was easy.
I love that button.
It is. Right. And the crazy thing is it really is easy. Once you know what you need to know, the path is simple. It just takes work.
Right.
It takes action. But if you don't know where your action is, you might be climbing the wrong ladder.
Yeah.
Like right now with you, until you get alignment with where you want to be at the end, so you're both in harmony, you're fighting against yourself. So it's more difficult.
Yeah.
But once you know where you want to go, you're going to all of a sudden the opportunities to get the equipment that you need, to hire the people that you need to hire, the training that needs to be done, because then you know I can go out and manifest things, and I can be on the speaker tour and still have everything else go.
Yep. Yep. And that's, well, I'm mentally there. I'm just not financially there.
Well, money flows when you're ready,
Okay.
right? When
Right.
you were ready this last year and you stopped hindering your progress,
Yep.
you had the best year you've ever had.
Yep. And bought
But
a
you
new
just
truck.
said, I don't know what retire. Once I retire my husband, that's your goal, right?
Yes.
But then there's that conflict of, well, he wants to do this and I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
Why would you retire your husband if you have that conflict?
Right. I see what you're saying. Yeah.
So once you get in harmony, like, this is how we're going to make it work.
Okay.
Then you're like, now I know that we're going to be successful, because you don't want the conflict.
Right.
So you're holding it back until you get that aligned. Once you get that done, then the conflict will disappear. Then the roadblocks will disappear, and all of a sudden, the opportunities will just start showing up, and you'll have all this stuff to get the finances to really shine.
I love that. I needed to hear that. Thank you very much. I appreciate you coming on today and sharing your just my ninja stuff. It's just amazing to talk to you every time. I love it.
It's tons of fun being around the family of choice. That's what it's about, right?
It is. And Apex is truly that. And it's just an amazing group of people who do nothing more than to share amazing information and help you build you up, help you build your business up. And you know, you just don't see it in the real world all the time, you know.
Right. Well, it's being around people who are doing the work and want you to win as well.
Correct. Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
And the thing about it is being around winners inspires you to win more, which inspires them to win more, which inspires more to win more. And it's like, how many times when you ring the bell and say, I did this amazing thing,
Yeah.
do you get the praise?
Yeah.
A lot of people go, well, you're just showing off or whatever. And in Apex, it's like, yes, congratulations, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to level up too, because now I got to be like that. It's kind of cool. We lift each other up. And when we have downs, we have people, we support each other and go, all right, how can I help?
Yep.
And it's amazing to have that network.
It really is. It really is. And I hope to see you. I'll be going to the MDM or
I will be at the MDM because it's my birthday present to me. My
Yay.
birthday's on the Sunday of MDM.
Okay, cool. Well, happy
I get to celebrate.
June birthday. That's awesome. This will be my first MDM event, and I'm excited about going.
Yeah, mine too. So
is it your first one too?
I've only been in Apex 8 months.
Wow, you've really grown a lot.
Yeah, I joined in June. I launched my business in June, joined Apex in June, everything. And it's crazy. It's once you go all in on yourself, miracles happen.
Yeah, I can see where I've been a little hesitant in comparison to others, but then I work on I don't want to compare, because I know my road has been kind of completely different than others. And I'm really proud of where I've come and how far I've come. I'm one of those that like I'm in remedial class, but I'm getting there. So I'm okay with that.
You were in remedial class. Now you're here with the tutors and those that will help you soar. So it's time for you to take action and get in alignment. Decide what it is that you want. Be in alignment with that future, so that then you can manifest that greatness and have it come so much quicker. Stop procrastinating what you're going to do in your future and get it done. This is you're mowing your lawn. You're mowing the lawn opportunity now is to align yourself with your future and with you and your husband so that it works.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Well, Wiley, it has been an honor and a pleasure to have you on.
Yep.
And can't wait to see you next time in person. And thank you so much for coming on the Junk Project.
My pleasure.
Y'all have a super awesome day, and I hope you got as much information. I was writing notes left and right on this show. I hope you got as much. No hope. You take away all the information that I got from this show because it was just amazing. So y'all have an awesome day. Thank you, and bye-bye.